So what kind of resistance are you experiencing? I don't know if you're saying anything, but
Good afternoon.
hey, Ed, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, doing well.
Now, last week, I believe you asked me if I could work on something, deal with something, or, I don't remember what it is though.
I'm working on a deal right now that I've got too much into it, I think, although the estimate's kind of caught up. I think when I started, it was like at 91,000 and I sent him an agreement for 113. He was asking 119.
Okay.
His estimate was like 91 and it's gone up to like 102 already in like a week and a half. But it's
Now,
still,
did you
too
say
high.
did you say Zestimate?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm having a tough time getting anyone interested because it's too high.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to look at the house yesterday, and so I was leaving. I saw a guy in his yard. I asked him if he knew anyone that would like a house in the neighborhood, and his son called me, and he asked me if I was doing a rent to own or if I wanted to sell it. I told him I just wanted to sell it at the 119, try and make 5 on it.
Uh-huh.
And he's gonna get back to me, so I don't know what's gonna happen there. But I think I'm gonna get back to the owner by tomorrow and tell him I just can't get funding if I can't get anything going on it.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
But I did get into a program last night that she offered me an opportunity to do a lease option. And she gave me a cash price of 195. And
When you say get into a program,
well, actually, into a lease option.
oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So she asked for 2 months, 2 months rent down. Started out at $1,500, then she went to $1,000 a month rent, and then
What are rents in the area?
yeah, they're right in that wheelhouse.
Right around 1,000.
She said she's been getting $1,200 for the last 8 years from the tenants that are just moving out.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably be skeptical of that. Not that it really matters, because you're only worried about what happens now.
Yeah, right. Let's see, on the Zillow, the rent, this estimate is $13.50.
Yeah.
How about if I let's see here. Mind if I share this with you real quick?
Try it.
Okay. Can you see it?
It's coming up. I see it now.
Okay. So here's it needs a new carpet, she was saying, and paint. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Couldn't get anyone to take the pool table.
Okay. She was saying it needed, well, it looks like it needs quite a bit more than that.
Yeah.
I think she's a little optimistic about what it needs. Definitely needs carpet there. How current are the pictures?
That's a good question. I'm assuming, she said she's got a tenant in there through the end of the month. So, I don't know.
Okay,
how
so
old
these were before that tenant moved in, probably?
right.
Okay. So, all right. So if you want to take some notes to yourself, you definitely want to see if you can get some updated pictures, even if the tenant has to take them for you.
Okay.
Because these pictures here, assuming that it has gone through even more issues with the new tenants since they've been in there, I'm already looking at a lot of work you need to do in order to bring it, any kind of current. You're gonna definitely have to paint the entire place. The wood floors look like they're pretty decent. Do you know if they're wood or laminate?
And they look like laminate to me.
They do. They're a little shiny for wood, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Especially considering that nobody was in here or that somebody had just moved out of here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would make a note
basement.
about finding out about the floors and the condition of the floors. You're gonna need a full paint job on this. How are the appliances and the fixtures? Are any appliances staying with the property? Even if they are, you probably don't want them.
Yeah.
You don't want that fridge.
Oh, you saw, let's see here. There it is. Yeah, so it can't be too nice if unless the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the bathroom. If you go up, you'll see the
There we
refrigerator
go.
right there.
Yeah, right.
That's trash. And
Yeah,
those
so the
kitchen
appliances
cabinets are outdated. So, what their idea is, and keep in mind also that in a community like this, they're not going to be as tough on you as far as their requirements as some areas of the country, but still is going to probably need a little bit. It looks like there's a screen on the floor. Don't know what that's about. Again, we don't know how old these pictures are. We don't know what's occurred since then. So I would find out for sure how old are these pictures, and can you get me some more current ones?
So here's their little,
Cul-de-sac.
estimates. Yeah, on a cul-de-sac. And so the price is at $195 that she offered me with the lease, 5 years. She's looking for $1,000 a month. And positive 750. Well, I think that would just be in the 2 months rent. No, she's looking for a non-refundable $750, but she said she'd go 3 to 5 years, and one of the insurance covered. So I'd have to figure out if that's in that $1,000 or if we have to add that to it.
What type of insurance are we talking about?
That's what we were a little confused about last night as well. It almost like she was looking for, I don't know, maybe she's gonna be owning a house, so the homeowner should cover that.
Like
And,
a home
so
warranty or hazard?
I think I'm assuming that she almost was getting on the thought train of a renter. So
Okay.
So I'll just confirm that insurance with her. It'd be the homeowners, and
Yeah.
then of course whoever's
When I
doing the
do lease options, I
we have
require my
renters.
renters. I'm sorry, I spoke over you.
That's okay. I was gonna say, and whoever moves in, we probably suggest, renters insurance, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All renters
So can you
should be,
put that as a
especially
requirement in the lease?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
I always require them to carry renters insurance, because it helps cover you, especially on a lease, but it covers them too in case they have any kind of issues. Renters insurance is a plus, and
Yeah.
it's really inexpensive. Like it in many cases it's under $10 a month.
So as far as the home itself, she's like, the cabinets you saw, they're old, so she, there's a good amount of work that needs to be done in the house, as you can see.
Hmm.
And she's looking for 195. Here it's it's estimates at 173.
Have you looked
But
at any other sales in the area? Have you looked at PropStream, or have you gone over to Redfin or any of the other services? Because Zillow is just one. You definitely want to cross-reference.
yeah, I did look real quickly at PropStream last night, and I think there was some stuff in that 160 to 190 range,
Yeah,
as I recall. Just looking at it briefly after the call last night.
yeah. So is the price going to be fixed for the entire term of the lease, the 5 years?
It would.
Okay. So you have time then for some appreciation to somewhat catch up with what you're doing. Still seems a little.
Yes, I have to find someone that's willing to fix up the house if they want to move into it, huh?
Yeah, yeah. If she's not going to fix it herself, and if you're going to, lease option it, if you're looking to get top of the market rents for something like this, there's going to be some things that need to be done. What I would probably suggest to you though is, get all the updated information, updated photos. You want to find out about that roof, how old the roof is, about the 5 major areas, and you know what those are, right?
Right.
Yeah, the heating, the plumbing, the electrical, the roof, and any foundation issues that you might have. You want to make sure that all of that is working to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Anything other than perfect, then obviously that's a negotiating ploy. Foundation issues, I don't even mess with. I just walk away. Especially if I'm dealing in something remote, or in, as we like to term it, virtual.
Right.
I don't, if it's foundation issue on a virtual deal, it's a deal killer. It's a no-go for me.
It's kind of a Midwestern tri level here.
Yeah.
So,
I like the property. I like the property a lot.
Yeah.
With a little cleanup, it could be excellent. But if you're able to log into PropStream, maybe we can walk through some stuff on there and see, what kind of activity we're seeing in the area. Or I tell you what, go back to your Zillow. And let's see if we can do a search on that property. Scroll down on the right-hand side.
Oh, I think, okay.
Now you see this, you see that little bar right there where it says home value, price and tax and all that right there, right below contact information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go to the right, use the right arrow. Okay, let's hit it again. Let's see if they got anything similar homes. Let's see what similar homes look like. Just click on there. So that's a shortcut. It'll just take you down so you don't have to scroll all the way down.
Okay.
Okay, so you're looking at something like this. You got
That's
a 4-bedroom,
2-bath, and this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
At 199.
Yeah.
Listed. Let's hit the right button and see what we're looking at as far as some other listings in the area. No,
That's not that.
that's 190, but let's look at the condition.
Okay, so so you want to look at this?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Let's
looks
look-
like it's
scroll down. Yeah, you see, that's a whole. It's still kind of dated, but it's probably appropriate for the area.
And when I jumped on PropStream last night, the other things that I was looking at were like this. They were, fixed up.
Yeah. Okay. See, this one has outdoor seating, and everything in this house looks a little bit better at 190.
Right.
Tell me again what your price was.
195.
195. Okay. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So let's go back and look at some more similar houses. That's 199, but that's a 2-bedroom. We can't even mess with that. And let's take a look before you go away from it. Before you go away from it, scroll down. This is a complete rehab.
Yeah.
See it? See, it's completely rehab. Now, if you were to look at the property that you're considering, look, they got the barn doors on the. Yeah, this is a nice rehab. Okay, so here's one of the things that I would do is I would contact the rehabber if at all possible.
Huh?
Look and see how far away it is from your property. The rehabber may actually have an interest in your property.
Yeah, there you go. So whoever bought that house, So
I would take note of the address. Find out who this rehabber is. You can probably find out all the information you need on PropStream.
Okay.
And if
Great
nothing,
idea.
if nothing else, how valuable would it be to have a conversation with someone who's rehabbing in that community?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
He should be your friend.
Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
Victor, good stuff.
Yeah. So they'll kind of tell you, and here's some questions that you want to find out from them, right? When did you do this? When did you do this rehab? Right?
Right.
When he did it, whatever he says, it'll.
Lost you there. The lockup. Everybody hear me? Yep.
It'll probably be a couple of months back. Keep in mind, it's a 2-bedroom house, so it's not.
There you go. We got you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I fade away?
You did. You froze up there.
Oh, okay. What is
You're talking about when was the rehab done?
Yeah, when was the rehab done, and how much does he think it would cost him to do that same rehab today? What I was looking for is the square footage. We have 1762 on your subject. How much was the square foot on that 2-bedroom?
That was 2,300, I think. It's pretty good size, man.
2392, yeah.
That's a big old 2-bedroom. I guess he just simply decided not to do walls because he could he could have did
Just
floating
left it all
walls and
open.
increased the size of that property.
Yep.
Full basement too.
Yep.
That's a nice
Scroll
bedroom.
down.
Was that a 3x5?
Right. What exactly is that? It's not. It looks like it's a closet, but I don't see any closet. I don't see no shelves or no, bars or anything in there. Scroll down to the basement. Oh yeah. Wonder what size that is. And it looks like it has.
Pretty good size.
Yeah, I don't know if that's garage or what
Yeah,
exactly
two-car
that is right there.
detached.
Yeah, detached, but damn, you'd be muddy on a rainy day trying to get from the garage to the house unless there's a door on the back. Oh, but there, look, it's clean
Gravel
though. It's
drive.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So if you're talking about 199 for something of this quality and this size, you know, we might be a little bit out of pocket on, you know, what she's asking for on this property. Let's see what's the rent estimate on that thing. Are you going to go to prop
1350.
1350?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
She said she's been getting 1200. Yeah, so
That may be possible. Let's see if we can find it.
just started playing with this prop stream this last week. So go to the address.
That's your property. All right, click on details. All right, let's see what we got.
I've noticed the prop stream's a little lower in their estimates compared to what I'm seeing on Zillow and those other type of things.
I think part of that is that PropStream tends to focus more on recorded sales. When you look at Zillow and some of those other estimates, they're averaging out by what people are asking for in the marketplace. So you'll see that they'll be a little bit different because if you notice on similar homes, what type of homes are those? They're for sale. They're not sold.
Okay.
Right. So
that's representing the estimated value.
Yeah, that's representing what they estimate they could get in the marketplace based on what everything is priced at. Given that none of them have sold, they're not comparables.
So that's really the comp number right there.
It's closer to it. It's closer
Okay.
to it. Yeah. So when you go, let's go to comparables and nearby listings. You're sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the courtesy, right? I stopped sharing behind that because people just log you out like, okay, never mind. You know, hold up 5 minutes. Okay.
I really noticed a couple things on the Zillow, how, you know, the couple of deals that I've got that the Zestimate keeps increasing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, because I believe the algorithm that they use has very little. That's interesting that it doesn't show any flip comps because we just looked at well, it's listed though it hasn't sold. But we know there's at least one flip in the area.
so these were the things I looked at just briefly last night.
Mhm.
That, like I said, was, you know, 165, 190. And these were, you know, things that were done.
Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures at 194.5. Well, first of all, let's look at the size. If you can scroll over to the right a little bit, and let's look and see what kind of size we're dealing with. Go down to the bar. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I don't know if you guys do this, but normally I usually filter it out a little bit more because as you'll notice, the date range goes back a year, and then the bedrooms and the year built and the square foot. I mean, all of that's usually, you know, pretty off. So I'll just immediately tailor down
You'll start to tailor it. Okay, so
I'll go like this property is 1762. So like just immediately I would go to square foot and I would just do like 1562 to 1962, you know, just to see the square footage, how that changes the comps. And then I'll start playing around with like the year built, you know, if there's too many or not enough, and then go out a mile. And I kind of look at several different variables there because right off the top, is not really a good clear indication of the actual, value of it, because there may be a lot of other variables with like a new housing tract within a half a mile and stuff like that. Just
Yep.
my 2 cents on that, but that's how I normally like to really dig into prop stream, and it really does narrow it down.
Yep.
That's a great point, Rick. And, like you said, on the, that's that 200.
So Ed, if you go down to where it says comparable search right there, and let's change the square footage right there. Let's work with Rick's suggestion. And I normally use both, Rick. Do you use both, or do you just use the public record?
No, I use both.
Yeah.
And in
so do
some
I.
areas, both is just a duplicate.
It's just
You'll
a
have public
duplicate in some
record and
areas.
you'll have an MLS. Yeah. So click between the two and then take a look to see if it's just nothing but duplicates anyway. If it's just duplicates, then remove both, because that's
Yeah.
just adding, double the amount of comps.
You know what we mean by both? You see where it says public record, MLS, or both, Ed?
Yes.
Click on both. You might, like he said, you might see some duplicates. Yeah, you do. There's some duplicates there. See if there's
Okay.
any difference in pricing.
Yeah, but at least you use those other options, huh?
Okay, so from here, I tend to lean on public records a little bit more, even though MLS has, and like Rick says, you toggle between the two. Now, public records are recorded, right? So you know that those are sold and those are recorded prices. So that gives me a little bit better idea of what actual sales were, right? Not anticipated sales, not speculative sales, not, anticipated sales, but what things actually sold for. So now you're looking at a whole different, ball of wax right here. Right now, there's what's that property on Shenandoah right there? The second one, the first comp. It looks like a similar property. It is. It's very similar.
Yep, this is one I looked at last night.
Uh-huh.
Carpet and
They like their wood. Okay, so this one in a little bit better condition. And again, we're just doing a snapshot. We're not doing a deep dive into it, but even just using a snapshot, you look at this one right here, it's an exact model match. It's
a tri-level. This looks like a tri-level too.
Yep. So its estimated value is 170 on PropStream. Says it's vacant. When was the date?
It's sold in November for 165.
Sold in November for 165. Okay. So, we're talking about, almost 6 months ago, 7 months ago, for 165. So even if we were to look at the percentage increase on Zillow, you probably wouldn't see anything, that's going to be huge. That's going to move that up now to 195. Okay, so she's a little bit high on the price. And what you're seeing here is an ability to go back to her and argue for a better price, or at least present a better pricing option for, to her. Say, look, I'm really trying to go here, but I'm looking at some properties that are of, a little bit better quality in terms of, the finishes and the condition. And they're not quite at the price point that you're asking. Is there anything we can do, adjustment wise to this price?
Because there's going to be, at least I'd say 20,000 to get that house in order, right? Paint, some flooring where it needs it, possibly a roof.
Yeah.
Looks like it needs a refrigerator and a stove probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's your first option. Your first option is to get it on the contract, market it. You know, that's going to take you a few minutes to market it out there and see if you can get some people to go and see it and maybe find a renter for it, right? If that happens, then nothing else matters, right? If you can, if somebody wants it the way it is, and you know, maybe the people in the area have a different standard than you and I, you know, and Rick, that what we're looking for, they might just go for it. But after about 15 days, I would look and see what the activity is like. And now you have some arguments to go back to her and make some adjustments, right? I would definitely need to find out what that house looks like today.
Yeah, gotta look at it, right?
Yeah, like that you have to find out what that house looks like today. You need some pictures. You need a video if at all possible.
Yeah, and I'm not too far away where I can't go look at it myself.
Oh, okay.
So
That's even
yeah,
better.
it's right here. Yeah.
That's even
So I'd be
better.
able to
So
go look
if
at
you,
it.
yeah, if you can make an appointment with the tenant, and you know maybe the tenant will allow you to visit and take a look, you want to definitely clear that up with the property owner first and make sure that that's something that they're willing or able to do.
So I've got an appointment to get back with her today.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of, structuring off of what we talked about.
Uh-huh.
As far as a lease option, I'd love to, instead of a renter, I'd love to try and do a lease option where I
Yep.
can get someone to invest and put the money into the house.
So what's the conversation that you have right now? What did you present to her as the purchase option?
So at this point, it's 195,000 is the
No.
price.
I mean, what did you offer her? Did you offer her to pay her full price for her property on a 5-year lease?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
At least, yeah. And then
Okay,
we
and
purchase it.
Is she under the assumption that you're the tenant?
No.
Nope. So she knows that you're going to just take over responsibility and you will be bringing in a tenant buyer?
Yes.
Okay, and she knows. And how much money was she looking to get down on the front end?
2 months. And so
2
that'd
months.
be $2,000 because she's looking for $1,000 a month plus the taxes to be paid.
Okay, got it. Okay. So that's pretty easy. Just based on everything that you've told me, it's definitely worth, locking it into a contract and putting it out there and letting the marketplace tell you the rest.
Right.
Right. The marketplace will tell you everything you want to know once you get it out there. Do some, Facebook marketplace, maybe a Craigslist ad, and you'll start getting some sort of activity. If you are nearby, as soon as the tenant moves out, you want to do a yard sign.
Okay.
Right.
And
As soon as because that gets you the most local people that are going to be calling you about the property.
so how long do you think I have to should I ask to work with? To get someone
A
in there?
minimum of 30 days.
Okay. Yep.
Minimum, with an option to extend if possible.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it set up as a 30-day and then a 10-day, addition if needed to close.
Yeah. All that's pretty negotiable though. It all depends on the activity that you're going to see when you start having people come through and start doing your advertising or anything. It might be real easy. Somebody might just come through, they'll be fine with it. Again, people's expectations and standards are different in different areas. Somebody might see this and think it's amazing for that area.
Right.
Right? We don't know. You guys got any input? Anything that you, Rick, any feedback that you see? Would it be something that you would do different than what I suggested?
No, I usually just ask for more time and let them walk me down a little bit.
Yeah.
like I would probably ask for 60, knowing that she's going to counter something and not like it. Let her take me down to 45. That gives me 15 more than 30. I mean, that's kind of a plan I use, especially with a lot of, this other traditional wholesale stuff too.
And someone's in the place right now too, so I think that, gives me a leg.
Yeah,
It would be-
yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna
it
need
would
30
be-
days beyond their move out date.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would go 30 days beyond their move out date.
And then just advertise it as someone's gonna have to put some money in paint, and put some
Yeah,
flooring in.
handyman special maybe.
Yeah,
The problem the only problem I anticipate that you may run into is the pricing is a little bit high for a handyman special. The pricing looks to be, in line with the other properties. So I would look at seeing some of those other listings that like we saw on Zillow, for instance. Like go back to Zillow, take a look at some of those. There's some there.
here's
And
another house that was.
look at the condition of some of these other properties.
Yeah, I was thinking about grabbing some of these and say, well, these are the comps in that similar price point, and they're all
Mhm.
repaired already. And this is going to take 20 to 30,000 to fix that up, don't you think?
Yeah, see, if she
That's
wants to do this, look at that refrigerator and stove and dishwasher,
Yeah.
stainless steel appliances.
Cabinets,
Yeah.
she admitted
Yeah.
that the cabinets were old, and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
there is some rehabbing involved.
yeah. And even there, the estimated value on something like this, this has 174 as an
Yeah.
estimated value. It's like, baby, you are way out of bounds as far as your estimate. I like that playroom though. I love shooting
Yeah.
pool.
Right. Little bar.
Yeah, that's kind
Um,
of that's kind of the cool little man cave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, anyway.
my thought was, she was willing to give it to me for a lease option. So do I, offer her, that 195 and just try and get someone in?
You can do that just to get it under contract,
And then, yeah,
and then let the reality of the market allow you to negotiate differently. But at least if you get it under contract, you take it off the market and start to do some moves on your own. Yeah, see, you just want to, even if you show her pictures like this, right? You see these properties are, they're in a little bit better condition than her property, especially in terms of flooring and things of that nature.
someone could move in.
So
Yeah.
are you going to ask for like full market rent at that
Well,
point?
that
Are
was
you
going
going
to
to
be
try to
the issue. If that's
Are you-
going to be the challenge. It's going to tough to get someone to pay $1,500 for a fix
Well,
up
for a
right?
house well, the market's definitely going to tell you that, especially if you're already, 20,000 over and probably need 20,000 in repairs, like in carpet and paint and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some number somewhere is going to have to give, but like Victor says, get it under contract. The market's going to tell you one way or the other, right? It's already been on the market, 60 days?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's some variables there that, don't make real great financial sense. And the market's going to tell you, believe me, the market will tell you.
Yeah.
But at least you
Yeah.
have some negotiations there. It's already been on the market. She obviously hasn't sold it yet. She's open to your, option here. Now she's just going to have to give a little bit, and we'll see how that goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell by the conversation I had with her last night that she probably ran a few off, tried to work with her. She's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
Was this your call lab call last night? This was this one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I was on that call, and she, she's pretty direct, right?
Yeah.
She sounded like she kind of knew what she was talking about and was like, I'm not taking this, but I will take this, and was, so.
She had
Yeah,
already
you
cut
can't
it
take
out
a lot
quite a
of
bit.
credit. Yeah, she was pretty much directing. I was very appreciative of her, offering what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's never a good deal when, the seller is in the driver's seat to that degree when they're dictating all of the terms. But you know, if the terms work in your favor, then you're fine
Yeah.
with it, right? Let her think that she's the boss if she needs to think that. But right now, I think she's a little bit, yeah, that rent estimate, you know, I don't know about that. You always have to understand where go back up just a little bit, go back up to the schools. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So a young family, if they come into the area, you know, that's not even a conversation I'm having with them. They'll have to figure that out in their own.
Yeah, it's a price point. I suggest homeschooling.
I should just go ahead and school them in the house.
Don't put that in the ad.
Right. Don't mention
Comes with a
anything
membership
about
to the
school in
library.
ad, right? Right. So this is another concern for me, to be quite honest with you, though, all joking aside. This is another concern for me because your potential renter / tenant buyer is probably a younger couple, right?
Yeah.
Especially on a 4-bedroom house. They're
Right.
probably a younger couple. Now,
Yeah.
and if they probably have school-age children or plan on having some, and they are moving into, you know, a school problem right here with the ratings that those schools are coming up with, right? So that's just another, you know, little obstacle that you're going to have to overcome. So if you think about the avatar of your buyer, who is your buyer? Who is the potential person who would be interested in a 4-bedroom house like this, right?
Yeah. So
It's going to be a pretty good size family, right?
Yeah.
And this is, you know, this is one of those where I would take it off the market, you know, by getting it on the contract. I would put it out there, and then I would let the market dictate some things to me that I could then turn around and close her on. Now, what I don't know, and you guys were on a call with this person, were you able to extract a need or a greed from this person, something that was a motivator?
Yeah, I think it was a a rental for her, and she's just I don't think she wants to put the money into fixing it up.
She doesn't want to fix it up, but she wants top market value for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she just taking advantage of the hot market, I think.
Yeah, that's what it kind of sounds like. It kind of sounds like she just wants to see, you know, since everybody is bidding everything up and everybody's overpaying for these houses, she wants to find out if in fact somebody will do it for her.
Yeah, I need to get better at digging into the why, and that was part of the conversation that we had last night with the 8 steps that we were discussing, you know, and just digging deeper into the why you're getting out of it. And you know, we kind of slip off and get into numbers and all that stuff instead of really finding the motivating reason why they want to get rid of it. And I've got to get better at
and that's really easy to do. You know, don't even beat yourself up about that. It happens to the best of us, especially when, you know, we get into the numbers conversation. But we always have to go back to realizing that there is a need or a greed that they are addressing in this situation. You know, something that they want to accomplish. So, you know, if you want, I'll play her, and you know, if you want to practice, maybe looking to extract some information from her, and you know, we'll coach you along the way for the next conversation.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Rick, did you pick up anything, Rick, on her motivation?
No, I don't recall, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, man. I listened to the majority of the call, but I mean, I think this is even paid off, right? I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I do.
She told me that.
Yeah, and I recognize too that that 195 prices, I think what she initially put it out on Zillow for, and then she raised the price or something like that. Didn't she start at 195? Yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't pick up anything else. I mean, I'd have to listen to the call again just to see if I missed something there, but
Yeah, April, she hit it at 195 and then she kind of bounced up to 219, then back down to 209, then back up to 219.
Oh, do you know why?
No, I'm sure she was pretty sticky to her point. She wasn't, wanting to, go beyond a price point, so she wasn't gonna, deal with a low ball price. And then 195 was the least that she'd go to, and then she offered the opportunity to do the rent to own.
Yeah. Yeah, she offered you the opportunity to rent to own. My thinking is that she knows her market, she knows the situation right there. And she's probably a little bit tired of doing all the work. She's not getting what she's looking for. And so she figures she'll give you a shot at seeing what you can do and kind of, take it off her plate a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that in order for this to work, and I say that for a couple of reasons. One is the condition of the property is less than desirable. Like this is not a great property. Again, we're going to get some updated pictures and some updated information, right? But
Right.
just to go with what Claude always suggests is to get it off the market, get it under contract, and then figure out everything. Once you get on the contract, you can back out if you want to, right?
Right.
Now you have the terms. Now you kind of have a little bit of leverage on it. But the terms and stuff that she's asking right now, my feeling is that on the front end of this, it's kind of, at best, it's 50-50. To be able to turn this over and find a tenant and do what you want to do with this and be able to extract yourself a chip in terms of profit. Like it's iffy.
Yeah.
It's iffy. It's not something that, just jumps out like, oh, to me, this is a great deal. But because of the conditions and the marketplace that we're in right now, I'm a proponent of get it under contract and then we'll figure it out. Right?
especially,
Right.
yes, especially if it's only been marketed for sale. And
Yep.
this is a whole new option
Yep.
that's going out on this property. I mean,
Yep.
that could make the difference between it being overpriced and rents are too high and still needs repairs. But, that person may be looking, and now it's not just for sale. They have an option here. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And it kind of opens up the buyer's pool as well, because now you're inviting those people whose credit may not be quite ready for the full financing option. It could open it up for, depending on what these new pictures look at, I would market it as a handyman special kind of situation. Become a homeowner today, large house, room for a growing family type thing like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but again, we're going back to a conversation that we're having all over the place right now in regards to what is going on with wholesaling as a whole and the legality and all of the, the noise that the National Association of Realtors is trying to make about wholesaling. Just make sure that you disclose, especially in your advertising. I wouldn't even put any pictures. I would put a link to a Google Drive where I would store all of my pictures. You could just, download all these pictures right off of here. I don't know if these are the ones you want to use yet. I would look to see if maybe I can get some updated pictures, because these right here are totally unattractive. But again, it's market positioning, right? Handyman special, become a homeowner right now, self-employed, need to work on your credit, that kind of stuff. I'm selling my, option on a property that, would be perfect for a growing family.
Excellent.
$5,000 positions you to, you know, own your own home and not have to deal with bank qualifying. And just sell the deal for $5,000 and be gone.
I like it.
Anybody got any other suggestions? Rick, really appreciate you, bro. Really appreciate all your input and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. No, for sure. No, I mean, that sounds pretty good, like a way to go. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm hesitant on using like the handyman special terminology. I would really like to see what it looks like on the inside, because maybe just some general, carpet cleaning and some touch-up paint would even turn this thing around. But
Yeah, and the
hard
added
selling.
advantage, great point, Rick. And the added advantage obviously is that you're there.
Yeah.
So you can find somebody to do the work, and you can supervise it. Never let anybody go do work on your stuff that has not worked on your stuff before without them getting tired of you. Literally, like they have to get sick of you being around all the damn time. I'm telling you, because
First one in, last one out, baby.
they have to have that feeling like, I'll never know when this guy's going to show up talking shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because
her call is a paint and carpet on the house. That's what she was telling me, in the basement. And
yeah, well, I mean, we can verify everything that she said with some new pictures.
Yep, absolutely. Great.
But keep in mind that she has a tenant that hasn't moved out yet.
Yep.
What is the relationship with the tenant? Do you know?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think she said they've been there for 8 years. So
yeah,
gotta be
but
good.
that doesn't tell you what the relationship is now.
No.
They might have been cool for a long time, and now they're a little chippy. So if they decide they want to, leave her a little going away present,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Have they been there for 8 years, but they've only been paying on 7 of them? This last year's been tough. You know what I mean? It's been a rough year,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possible, huh?
Yeah. So these are just things, that we're bringing up. Like, they're not insurmountable obstacles, but they're obstacles that you need to know about, right? Like, a curve on the road is not going to kill you unless you don't know that there's a curve in the road.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just about making sure that you have gathered all your information, that you have a strategy to get around the obstacles that are inevitably going to come up. The more you anticipate, obviously, the better it is for you, right? Because now, and you don't have to spill everything out there. You can just hold on to your cards and play it like poker, and yeah, I get what you're saying, Mrs. Seller, but with what is going on with the paint and the carpet compared to the other properties that are currently in the market at this price point, I'm finding a hard time, justifying that. Can you help me out a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you see? Maybe I'm missing something. And let her justify whatever it is that she's, claiming is so wonderful and great about this whole entire scenario. Right?
Yeah.
So the conversation at this point needs to be her selling you on this property to some degree. Right now, she's just selling you on what she wants. Right? Like, I'm only doing this, I'm only doing that, I'm only doing that, which, is an arrogance born out of having sat in this chair for as long as she had and gotten the benefits that she's gotten for as long as she's gotten them. Right? Yeah. But we're talking about today now. And we're talking about a property that's in, not so great condition. Again, that's just based on what I'm seeing now. We don't know because we haven't, we need updated information. We need updated photos and everything. Also, find out from her what she's done up to this point and why it hasn't sold yet, or why she hasn't come to terms with anybody at this point. What was the sticking point why she haven't made it? Because she's gotten calls.
Yeah.
She's gotten calls, right? So if I was you, I'd reverse engineer this and find out from her, why haven't you?
Yeah, it's probably, in that rehab arena where people are looking for that 70+% off the
It,
price. And
it could be, but you don't have to figure it out. You can just ask her.
yeah, right.
It could be that, but you could just ask her, well, what seems to be the hangup? It seems like, this property, from what I can tell, this should have already moved. Where people keep calling me with these low ball offers, and I'm not giving my property away. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. So, I guess being a landlord, you're okay with just renting it out then and continue to just do it that way? Is that an option for you? Or would it be a better option if I was to take all of this off your hands and all you have to worry about was where to cash the check? And if that's the case, I'm an investor, obviously, like you. This is how I feed my family. So I can't do it. I always throw that in there. This is how I feed my family now, right? So now I'll become a human being.
Right.
This is how I feed
Yeah,
my family.
I'm
So
assuming that no money's been put into it because these people have been in there for the last 8 years.
mhm.
And so it's time to, pony up. It's like my parents, they were in their house for 50 years. They didn't do a lot to, keep it up to speed. And
Yeah.
after 50 years, it needs a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can help you with that, but work with me. But now, with all that aside, let's talk about the fact that she owns this property free and clear.
Yep.
That is always a plus, right?
Right.
Like when I hear free and clear, I'm looking at, especially when I hear free and clear with an investor who has some assets. Okay, so let's do a quick role play. So Ed, I'm looking at the property, and it's, obviously I have some obstacles. I think there's a reason why it's been on the market as long as it has. And it doesn't sound like you're very flexible in terms of what we can do price wise. I haven't seen the condition of the property, but I would have to assume that you've had a tenant in there for some time now. So, I would need to update the pictures, but here's one thing you did tell me is that you own the property free and clear. So assuming that you've turned down every other offer you've had to discount this property, is there a magic number that's an amount that you would like to walk away with right now? Assuming that you're not going to take the capital gains hit on a full entire cash out situation on this. Snuck that in there, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna take a hit on this if you cash this out, right?
Right.
How much cash could I give you today and maybe work out the rest?
Yeah. Well, make me an offer.
Yeah, well, I think we've already been down that road, Ed. What I'm really trying to do now is solve a problem or create a situation that benefits you. I don't know what that is, so maybe you can help me out a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, it needs to be painted, and we need some carpet, and the cabinets are yay or nay. I mean, they're older, but they still work.
So let me ask you this, Ed. Understanding that all of those things need to be, dealt with in order for us to get this up to full market value. Assuming that is, as you say, would you consider that maybe, I give you a chunk of money on the front end and, you're looking at an income on a monthly basis? Maybe we can, do a seller finance or something of that nature where you're locked in and it's secured by the property and you have that income coming in every month and, a little bit of money, on the front end. And then I could take care of all the other issues that are, now probably the problem in you moving this property. Is that something we could talk about or maybe not?
Well, I've already made the offer to you that, I would take $1,000 a month. I would need a $750 down payment, non-refundable. And then we would, expect you to take care of the taxes as well.
Got it. Got it.
And I can
Now-
go probably 3 years to 5 years.
Have you considered maybe, being the bank on this? Have you, considered, because here's some advantages, obviously, is that, the note will be guaranteed, secured by the property. And if in fact you were to run into a situation in the future, and I know you already know this, the note is negotiable. You can move that note anytime you want to if you ran into a situation where you needed cash. Is that even an option we can talk about?
Well, I'm giving you 0% interest for 5 years right now. What would you like to work out?
Well, I'd like to see. So at this point right now, it really goes back to your exit strategy, right? So if you want to do this on a lease option, that's the only way you can do it on a lease option at this price point, right?
Right. That's right. I'm either thinking lease option or see what she would do as far as the
A
seller
discount?
finance, kind of like what Brandon was talking about.
Right, and that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to be the bank on this?
So how would you work that out?
Well,
in
I'm
this
trying to find out
situation?
from you, how much money would it take on the front end to have you be the bank?
Well, would I be able to, could I just finance her for 5 years and then you cash me out? Like,
Absolutely.
she's offering me that right
Abs-
now.
Absolutely, we can do that. How about if we do a 5-year note amortized for 30 principal only payments for the first 5 years, and then we'll cash you out.
Well, what about just giving me that $1,000 a month?
I'm sorry.
What about just giving me $1,000 a month?
All right. Well, how are we
And,
gonna how are we structuring that?
So my motive was going to be $1,000 a month, and then having that come off the total.
Okay, so you're gonna give me credit for the full $1,000.
That's that was going to be my approach.
So at the end of the
So
5 years,
I'd either go
whatever-
that way or the other way, where I just give you the $1,000 and then pay you off at the 195 in 5 years.
Okay, so are you going to give me credit for the full $1,000?
Well, I'm going to approach that side first. That I'm going to pay you $1,000 a month, and then hopefully that 12,000 a year for 5 years would come off the balance, and then cash you out.
Okay, so you're basically telling me that that I'm going to give you a $60,000 discount in 5 years when my property is going to be worth so much more. I don't see that as making sense for me, Ed.
Okay. I'm gonna pay you the amount that you want. We're gonna lock it in at the cost today, and we're gonna pay you $1,000 a month. That
Okay.
covers that loan, and you should probably be able to make a little money off of that from what you're paying on your mortgage right now.
Okay, but how is your structure? I'm not understanding what your structure is. So you're still on a lease?
Yeah, my thought was to go in with a lease with option to buy.
Okay, so you're going to do a lease with an option to buy, and you want 100% credit for the $1,000.
Well, I was gonna approach that way, yeah.
What is the chance you think you're going to get that? No way in hell would I give somebody that deal, personally.
You're saying so I probably just give her that $1,000 a month as the payment, and then cash her out at the full 195 in 5 years.
That's what you would give me.
Yep.
You would give me $60,000 if you were to keep it the full year. You would give me $60,000, and you in essence would be buying my house for $355 or $360, whatever. Because I would have got that $1,000 a month, but I wouldn't be reducing the cost of the property by that amount. There's no way in the world I would give you $1,000 credit every single month for 5 years. Like,
So I
that
should
doesn't even
probably
make sense to me.
Yeah. So
If it was you, would you do that to would you give that to somebody?
depending how motivated they were.
No. If it was your house.
No,
There
absolutely
you
not.
go. So you're dealing with somebody who's unmotivated, and you're asking them to do something completely,
Yeah.
It's worth asking. It's worth
I thought I
asking,
tried
but
at least,
I
you know.
suggest you, I suggest
You
you
can
have a
always say
backup
no.
plan.
You can always say no.
Right. Yeah, I suggest you have a backup offer though to go along with that. Because more
Yeah.
than likely she's gonna say no to that. You guys feel free to
Yeah.
jump in here if you have any feedback on this.
Yeah, so the reality is I offered her $1,000 a month, 2 months down payment, and
Mhm.
then at the end of 5 years, pay her off at the asking price.
At the asking price.
Yep.
Okay. But
And hopefully we can negotiate that a little bit right now. I think, in 5 years, the 195 would work. I mean, I'd be able to probably make maybe a couple $400 a month on the rent. And then
so you thinking about sandwiching this?
that's what I was thinking.
Hmm.
Rather just take that 5-10K and get out.
I don't see the spread in the sandwich.
I was hoping someone could come in with maybe $10,000 or $15,000, and I could even maybe donate $5,000 back to paint the place.
Okay.
And
This is getting more complicated the longer we're on this call. Because now you're talking about giving them credit for painting and all of that stuff. Why don't you just take the $5,000 and let them keep their own money and do and pay it on their own rather than dealing with credit. I mean, me personally, that just sounds like a hornet's nest. Not only that, it sounds like more work than I want to do. Give me my $5,000. Here you go. Thanks. Bye. Right? Like, really don't want to overthink this. Like, the bottom line is, rather than you worried about what and you want to, but rather than you be so concerned about what they want, what do you want?
Good point. I'd be happy with 10K and be on my way. I know it's kind of narrow. I'd be even happy to take 5K and get out of here.
Okay, so let's say you're probably not going to get 10K at this price point. Why? Because the market doesn't show 10K. The market is showing that you're overpriced as it is.
Right.
So where are you going to get the 10K from?
Yeah, I was hoping someone
the only way you can the way you can get the 10K is to chip it off of the asking price as it is right now.
Okay, right.
Right. So if you keep it exactly as it is, as it's advertised, but you can get it down to 209, right?
Or to like 185.
That would be even better. The lower you get it, below what it's being advertised at right now, because all of this is going to be visible to whoever looks for this property now. It's all on Zillow. It's all on the history and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to overcome that.
Right. And how do you do that?
Well, you get the price lower.
I mean, but as far as the people looking at it on Zillow, it still shows 219.
Well, once you get it on the contract, you have to take over the Zillow account.
So I have the right to do that?
Yeah, you can just ask her,
Okay.
let me take over the Zillow account because I can't market it effectively if we're both marketing at different price points. Yeah. So whenever I get a property on the contract, I take over the Zillow account.
That's what I was wondering how that works.
Yeah, you take it over. You just ask them, take it over or take it down.
Yep.
Yeah. She can't have that. You can't have her marketing this out there at a price point different than what you're marketing at. Is because if you have to go higher than this, you're out of luck.
And
you're not going to be able to market it higher if it's being advertised at this price point already.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm running into that situation.
Yeah. So you have to take control of the Zillow account or in any other marketing that she's currently doing. She has to be willing to allow you to do that.
So what would your suggestion be to try and get a 5K assignment fee out of this and move on?
I would try to get her down off of that 219.
She's at 195 for me now.
Okay, she's at 195. She's marketed
Yeah.
at 219. I
Yep.
would get it under contract at 195 and just market it at a discount over under this 219. Previously marketed at 219, available right now at 205.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, available right now at 205. The difference is your money.
Great.
Hey, Victor,
Yeah,
how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, man. What I was gonna say, I just got off the phone with a seller. She it's a regular. She did not. It's very clear. The reason why she wanted to sell is because she got tenants. She got a tenant like her nephew in the property and giving her a hard time to get out. So now she need to do the eviction, and she said she would sell it, but it's gonna have to be with the tenants. But she wants at least close to asking, at least close to retail. The property's worth at least 285, 295, around that price range. She wants 250 flat,
Okay.
and I'm responsible with the tenant. I gave her an offer. I looked at it. I gave her an offer since I'm actually gonna be responsible for the tenants around 200 to 210. She told me no. Well, what you think? Like I can actually do about that? I gave her another offer with the own up finance at 250. She's okay with, but when she spoke to her relative said no, don't do it. 250 cash. Be responsible with the tenants. So I'm just trying to figure out what you think would actually be like a good scenario for this.
The first thing that comes to mind is a problem tenant.
Yeah,
I have no interest whatsoever in a problem tenant.
got you.
It's best. Is it virtual or is it local?
Local.
Okay, so if it's local, you may have some, but is there enough money in there for you to inherit a problem?
If it's gonna be cash, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if it's
really
at
an
250 and the market value, how much work does it need? Do you know?
The kitchen is updated. The kitchen is updated, stainless steel. They did it. They update the kitchen about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen. They changed the flooring, the tiles, but everything else they didn't update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So about how much money do they need? How much do you need to put into it?
That's the thing. I didn't get a chance to actually see a 42 because the nephew was not letting nobody in, and that was the issue right there.
Yeah. So I would probably, if it's me personally, I'm sitting on the sideline until these problems are a little bit solved. I'm not big on inheriting problems, and they're telling me right off the top that there's problems.
Yeah.
Right. And when you're dealing with human problems, the risk that you run is if you alienate these tenants and they go sour on you, how much damage can they do before you are able to correct this problem?
There is a way to get around it though.
Well.
Okay, so Rick has an idea.
What I've done in the past, and I don't like these either, but what I've done in the past, if the price is significant enough, you could see what that tenant needs to move and offer a cash for keys and just tell them, say, look, I can help you move, but this property cannot have any damage to it. And we're going to walk through this property. And at the time that you hand over the keys, I'll give you this check for this amount to help you move. If the numbers make sense, right? I mean,
what's that number, Rick?
You mean for cash for keys? Man, I've done cash for keys. Well, you're a realtor too. I mean, we've done this on both sides. I've done it for 1,500.
No, my question has to do. My question has to do with assuming that it's a actual market value. Did you say 295, Jimmy?
Yes, around 295. Yeah, 295.
What would be your number? Your purchase price on something like this in order to have it make sense for you, Rick?
Man, probably 20, 30K.
Oh, okay. So at 250, this makes sense to you to do the cash for keys scenario?
Is it just going to be like a I missed the first part of the conversation. Is this a
It's a, she wants,
only?
she'll take 250 cash.
I'd probably take a hard look at it depending on the neighborhood and, you know, the variables that surround it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mhm.
there's some flexible room there. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Would you do this virtual, or if it was virtual, or would you only participate in something like this if it was a local deal for you?
I'd get boots on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "Hell no, I get somebody on the ground
Yeah.
doing it."
You have to. This is not something that you could play with virtually and expect it to have, you know, good results. There's always, you know, the human element. But that's just me. I'm really skeptical like that. This is something that I would do if it was in my neighborhood or, you know, within reasonable distance.
Yeah. Okay.
It's tough
Okay.
too because it's family, right? I mean, she can't get her own family out of her house. Is that
Yeah,
right?
she can't. Yeah, that's her house. She can't get her own family.
That's my problem, Rick.
Yeah, I mean that is right. I mean, that's some of the worst tenants, right? Is your family. Because
That's
one,
my
you don't want
problem
to
with
evict
this deal.
family, you know, and how close are they family and how long have they not paid? And
That's her
know-
nephew.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and, you know, she thought she was doing a favor, letting the nephew stay there, and you know,
Yeah.
and now the nephew don't want to
Yeah.
get out. The nephew, she just told me the nephew broke one of the windows, and
Yeah.
so I said, man, it seems like he's gonna end up breaking the whole house down once it's time for him to actually go.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the problem with families is that reasonableness doesn't apply. Like you know, like we're talking reasonableness in terms of cash for keys and, you know, take care of the property until we move out, or else I'm not going to give you none of those things matter sometimes when you're in this emotional state that we're talking about right here. Like I haven't had good luck with this kind of scenario. So that's probably where I, you know, gave you that answer. When I've dealt with family situations like this, I'm 0 for whatever.
Gotcha. Okay. I got you. I see. Makes sense.
I'm 0 for whatever. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I haven't been able to pull this one off. Not when there's family.
Yeah, because I actually did it before, but this is kind of serious, like different. And I don't, you know, because
Yeah.
usually it just be a tenant. I just speak to the tenant. I give you this much tenant. But with the family, they going
Yep.
back and forth and
Yep.
find out he's kind of in his 20s, just angry and bitter.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And the first thing that they want to do is tear the house up.
yeah, and that's what he's actually working on. So
Mhm.
I explained to her, I said, by the time you look, he's gonna tear the whole house down, then you gotta put some more money in to remodel the place back again. So ma'am, is this something you really want to continue to go on with? No, I really don't.
Are you able to have a conversation with the family member that's occupying the property?
He said he's not picking up the phone, nothing.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk.
That's yeah. Me, I'm on to the next one. And anybody
Gotcha.
else have anything any other input? Rick, where you at on this?
Yeah, man, there's so many unknowns here. I would be very interested to see if he is just living there for free and they have absolutely nothing in writing, what the local law enforcement would say as far as just having the cops show up and evicting him right there on the spot. You know, I don't know. I mean, what are the laws there, right? I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. But that's maybe an avenue I would look at. Hey, can I just evict this person? It's a family member that's just staying there for free and they won't move and I'm trying to sell it. Do I need to give him some sort of notice or can I just get him out of here?
Are you still at the
You know-
$10,000 mark, or are you now more closer to 25, 30,000?
Like I said, man, there's so many unknowns here, right? But
Yeah,
Again,
because the scale rises depending on how much, you know, problems I'm going to deal with. Now my profit needs to be a little bit sweeter.
yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe he just needs $1,000 to move, right? I
Maybe.
mean, that conversation sounds like it really may have happened from, you know, the family members.
But
between
it also
themselves.
doesn't sound
hey,
like it's going to happen if this person is not picking up the phone or is not willing to
He's not speaking
negotiate.
to the auntie at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's next. Maybe so,
That's my
right?
point.
They
Exactly.
going back and forth, and
Yeah.
he's cussing her out. He's
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
no,
just
no.
regret everything.
Y'all can keep your problem like this. Call me back though when when there's some movement in this negotiation.
Yeah, you
Okay.
get your nephew out of there. Let's talk.
Let's talk. Yeah,
Might be
Yeah.
one of those, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
But family members are a problem, bro. Even
Yeah.
the local municipalities sometimes they're not real keen on jumping in this because the family members have some rights, right?
Yes, they do.
They're family, right? They have some rights, and they'll fight for them. And if nothing else, they'll just keep it tied up long enough to make it just a problem,
That
right?
makes
So,
sense.
yeah. So anyway, guys, I have to get going. It's 11:20 right now. Jimmy, next time you come on to the thing, bro, come on up. A little bit before 11.
I will. No problem. I will. What else I was gonna say? What's fucking Victor?
Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys jump into go into what is called Clubhouse, check it out, man, and start promoting your businesses out there too, and get free content out there.
In Clubhouse,
Yeah, check it out.
can you send me an invite?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, because it's an invite, right?
Create your content and everything out there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Send me an invite. I'll jump in right now.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right, you guys. Jimmy, Muhammad, Ed, Aaron, John, Rick. Great to see you guys again. Hey, thanks for all the input, Rick. Really appreciate it. Ed, thanks for bringing the scenario to the table. And good luck with everything. Let us know how it goes. Update us next week. Muhammad, did you have any questions?
Yeah.
I see you just listening.
Yeah. Do you want to take a look at this real quick?
You guys are good for Muhammad. I would love to take a look at it, man, but I would have to do it at another time. I'll write it in because I have a hard stop here in about. I'm actually overdue. But,
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me take a look at the address. And why don't you put in your contact info and you and I can connect.
Gotcha.
You can do it privately, or you can just put it in the chat to me. And Auburn, New York.
Thank you for all your help, everybody. Have a good day.
You do the same, Ed.
Congrats again, Ed.
Yeah. Did you put your info in?
Yeah.
All right. I got you, Muhammad. All right. I'll take a look at this a little bit later this afternoon and give you a call back, and we can chat about it, okay?
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Victor. Take care, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.